Okay. It live streamed. Again, okay, let me see what is coming up. Okay, all right. So seems like all of you are not visible in that live stream. That's wonderful. That means you shouldn't have a privacy concern there. Go to my speaker view. Okay, that's great. Let me see. Speaker view goes on the live stream. Is it? Okay, yeah, seems like that. Speaker view goes on the live stream. That's nice. So that should do it. So again, please turn on your cameras. If of course, if there is, like, if you have a bandwidth concern, I totally understand that, or any other concern, that's fine. But it's my kind of request to you, if you can turn on the camera. That way I can see your face. I can, yeah, my class taking that task would be much enjoyable. Okay. And yeah, saying that, let me start with something. What we see is, let's explore the Canvas page a bit. Okay. So before we go there, is there any question for me? Okay, one thing about the chat, you guys can send message over the chat to communicate with each other. That's okay, but I don't actively look at the chat. So if you are asking a question to me over chat, I think the better idea would be you just ask me, speak up, unmute yourself, speak up and ask me. That would be the right way to do things. Okay. So no question for me so far? All right. Now, let me try to share. Share the screen, or maybe this one. Okay. I'm sharing now. And what happened to focus mode now? Let's see. Okay, focus mode is still on, etc., etc. Okay, good. All right. And what is coming up on the in the stream? Look at that. Okay. Go with the gallery view. All right. Great. Great. Okay. All right. So this is what I see from my end. Since I have the teacher's account, I have one more to turn on the student view, and hopefully this is the experience you will have or you are seeing at your end. So this is the first page to start with in the Canvas, and basically this is the one page that you need to go through. I hope some of you at least have gone through that page already. We'll go to there in a minute, but before that, let me go to another page, Zoom session registration. That one important thing I would like to notify and reconfirm with you, that you have registered this session, and you have registered for like all the session, all the classes. Like, you don't need to re-register these. And the confirmation email you got, please make sure you save it, or at least bookmark that link. Because what will happen, what I have heard from past semester, that if you actually go there and try to join through this link, it still like redirect you to the registration page. For initial couple of weeks, that should be fine. You can re-register and so on and so forth. But at some point of time, I will stop the automatic approval of registration. So that means after that, if you do re-registration, I will be notified over the email, then I need to go to the Zoom and approve your registration, so on and so forth, and you won't be able to go into the meeting. But this email that you have the link and everything, meeting ID, that still works. So you don't need to go through, please don't go through this page. Instead, whatever email you got after the registration, keep that link, bookmark that link, and use that link throughout the semester. Is that clear? Okay, I see. I want to see thumbs up from you guys. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so that's being cleared up. And then one more thing is this one. Is there anyone in this class who has not registered? I think not, but let me just make sure. If someone is viewing through the YouTube channel, just a late registration process for this semester as well is kind of automatic. There are open seats in this class. So if you go and register, you'll be registered automatically. You don't need permission code, I think, till February sometime, like February 1st or something. Like if you register today, that should be okay. However, even if you have registered automatically, please send me an email like this, okay, if you are late registration, okay, so that I can actually keep track of you for the late registration, and I can send you some of the survey that you need to fill up before I kind of approve you for the class. All right, so send me an email to this email ID with subject line exactly like this, and body has just this information. You don't need to write a paragraph or nothing. Just give me a late registration request with this name, student ID, and it's just a registered email. So this is only for those students who are late registered. Okay, if you have already registered, don't worry, I got your information. Okay. Now, next. Okay, this one, whiteboard link. So this is the Google Jamboard, like that's a whiteboard application. I use it in the class. It is shared with you for the viewing, so that I can, if you ask a question, I need to explain, I use it like an electronic whiteboard. That's it. Okay, so but make sure you have access to this whiteboard. Okay. Okay, now let's go to this page, everything you need to know about this course. So I hope you have reviewed that already, or if you have not, I strongly suggest you to go and check this page out and watch these videos. This gives you an introduction to the course, what we are going to do, what are the logistics of the class, what are the protocols of the class that you need to maintain. Also, like a little bit introduction on this page navigation that we are doing. It's in a more detailed fashion. And also it talks about, this is important, challenges. You need to know what challenges you are going to face in this class and how to mitigate those challenges, how to get help, how to proceed with this course. This is a very different course than what you have been taken in the computer science department so far. It is not a software course. It is not a programming language course, though we'll be learning some of the programming language at a very low level assembly, but that's not the target. Target is to understand a computing system from hardware perspective and try to understand how, when you write a software program, how a computer executes that program. That is the whole target of this class. So this is not a language class. This is not a software class. This is absolutely revolves around the hardware and its operations. And we need to understand how it works, okay? From computer science perspective, our goal is to understand that when you are writing a program, whatever language, Java, get it C or Python or C++, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it goes through those hardware, and you need to be able to, after the class, well imagine when you are typing and writing a program, how this program goes through different stages and phases and get executed and gives you the result back. So that's the fundamental goal for ours in this class. Okay, and then you'll see in this page about the Zoom timing. Okay, one more thing, office hours. I'll come back to that in a minute. Prerequisite, very important. So this has two prerequisites. It is not or, it is ANDed requisite. One is that CS or Math 4242X and CS46B or 49J together. You need to have C- or better. If you don't have one of them, please drop from this class, okay? All right, so I hope everyone in this class has both of these completed, both this class, CS42, CS or Math 42X and CS46B or 49J, okay? Textbook, these are for the reference. I believe if you follow through the class and the lecture notes, it is sufficient for you to get through the class with a good grade, okay? Now, if you want to know like more details, like for some reason, if you're interested, okay? So these are the book for them to refer to if you want to know more about the subject or topic in hand. Of course, you can always ask me in the class or in my office hours. I'll happy to explain in deeper detail, whatever, if you want to go deep in the theories. Okay. So what are the activities we want to go? Okay, I have sent like 3 emails, like at least one of you told me you haven't got received 2, but I believe most of you received 3 emails. One from the MySJSU system, another from the Canvas, another from the Qualtrics. Qualtrics with a link to the survey. Survey is very important. Make sure you are done. And because I need to go and check your prerequisites, etc., all other different information, and make sure you are eligible for this class. So that's why it is important, that prerequisite survey. If you haven't got them, please send me an email that you haven't received those 3 emails or anything like that. Now review, okay, that syllabus, that is another activities. And of course, I just talked about the prerequisite survey, complete that. There is a practice quiz for quiz and an exam environment setup. Please go through that. All this, by the way, all these activities earn you a bonus points. Okay, not a part of the main points, but bonus point. But bonus point helps you at the end of the day. So make sure you earn those bonus points. These are easy points. So complete the practice quiz. Make sure your environment is all ready for your quiz and exams. Complete the introductory discussion. That helps me to know you a little better. This is a big class, so I need to know your style, your way, how you are comfortable, which way you want to learn. So that's the basic thing I want to know from you. Okay, some point distribution here, pop quizzes, bonus point. Please go through that. If you have question, let me know. Okay, so let's go and jump to the syllabus. Let me see what I have.
Mr. Patra?
Yes.
The pop quizzes are different from the one in the assignments, right?
Pop quizzes are different than one in the assignment.
So are they online, like the pop quizzes, or?
Yeah, they're online.
So do they
publish it on that day?
Huh? Sorry.
On those days, I will keep publishing those quizzes, pop quizzes. You don't see it right now,
Okay.
But yeah, I usually give a fair, like indication when the pop quiz is coming, so that you don't get really surprised. It is really not a pop quiz, but I want to make sure that you guys go through the material in time and you are in the same pace as class progresses.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go to the syllabus page. So I hope you guys, all guys can access that as well. I'd suggest you to go and, like navigate with me and let me know if you see any problem. For example, if you see this page is not coming up. For me, why it is not coming up? Oh, maybe I am in the student view, that's why. Do you guys see this page? Okay, like that document? Or I can actually go in the drive and see. Yeah, so this is the green sheet. Usually it becomes embedded, but since I'm in a student view, it is not authorizing. What if I do this? No, login failed. Okay, fine. And also you'll see there are these dates. So you are familiar with what is upcoming and so on and so forth. So make sure you are familiar with these dates. And syllabus wise, and I am supposed to go with you these pages, but I'll go with you very quickly, okay? Because most of them are already covered in those videos I have shown you in this everything you need to know page. Most of the informations are there in these videos, okay, most of them. So what is there? We have talked about the prerequisite. You already know the class time, Tuesday, Thursday, 6 to 7:15 p.m. online, Zoom, office hour, Tuesday, Thursday, 4:30 to 5:45. I'll talk a little bit more about that in details. Give me a few minutes after this. Course format, purely online. These are all like formal description of what is the objective, etc., etc. Okay, what are the important outcomes? I talked about the textbook already. Course requirement and assignment. What is important there? Yeah, this is an important date. Please make sure you are done with your prerequisite survey by this time. Because after that, I will collect those information. And if there is any issue, that's not end of the day. I usually communicate with student that to thrash out and figure out what is going on. All right. So there will be 8 programming assignments, 6 quizzes, 1 individual project, midterm final exam. So these are excluding the pop quiz, because pop quiz gives you the bonus points. So bonus points are important. It will help you in your grade, but they're not part of this main assignment, main 100% points. Document PDF. Okay, the project includes something called a project report. Probably maybe many of you are doing it for the first time. A report on the project. You usually do types of program and submit it. It is not sufficient here. You write programs on the project program, of course, and then you also write a report. And this is about that. We'll talk about more when the project comes in. But there is one specific thing. There is a 10% extra marks on the project point if you follow a certain format, IEEE format for the reporting. This is to encourage you guys to be familiar with IEEE format, because you guys are all engineers in the high-tech world, and this is a standard format in the high-tech world to publish a papers. So I encourage you guys to do that and get familiar with that, and there is a 10% extra bonus on the project if you follow that format. Lockdown browser, webcam requirement, this will you all know, come to know if you go through that practice quiz I told about. So you need a webcam, you need lockdown browser to get set up. This is a formal quiz environment, exam environment that we want to have. Okay, final exam evaluation. Okay, let me see. So programming assignment, 20% of your marks. Quizzes, not the pop quizzes, the regular quizzes, 30%. Project, 20%. Midterm, 10%. Final, 20%. Now you see, the funny thing is this, the first three, right? These are all like take home. You do your programming assignment at home. You do your quizzes at home. By the way, quizzes all has like 2 chances, same set of question. And you say, hey, what's the purpose? The purpose is that you actually attempt the quiz first. Let's say you get a low score, but you then know what are the parts you need to concentrate and learn, then learn them and come back and do a second round so that everyone of you get 100% out of the quiz. My target is to make you learn, okay, not to cut your points. So that's the basic part. Now project, again, take home, right? So what is the total point? 30, 20, 20, 70%. You already hit the pass mark, okay? Now 20%, 10% is the exam. Exam are hard. I'm telling you, exam are hard because exam is to differentiate between the best, better, and good student. So 70% pass mark, passing this course is not a problem. Okay. Getting good score, that's where you need to spend your effort, understand the material, and of course you need to focus on your bonus points, whatever bonus point you can gather. All right. But saying that, it's a hard subject, exams are hard. Even then, like last semester, out of 25 students, 12 got A+. Okay. And I think 16 or 17 student was out of 25 was A- or better. Why it happened? Because they actually was done very good on these first 3, reached 70%, achieved the bonus points. So exams were more like differentiator between them. Okay, so if you are good, if you are contributing good onto your projects, quizzes, take-home assignments, you should be at the very good place at the end of the semester. So that means you need to be engaged with this subject frequently, regularly, daily if needed. Okay, not that you just before exam you go and study everything and somehow do better in the exam. Better in the exam is good, you need it, but that carries only 30% of your marks. So it is an assessment throughout the semester. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. All right, classroom protocol, please go through that. Those part. Okay, so by the way, like if you need any, let's say there is the conflict of the exam dates with some reason, maybe you are in the sports, right? And you have a game, or there is a religious reason. You need to consult with me upfront with those if you need an extension or alter your like dates. Okay, you cannot just come in like 6 hours before the deadline, say I need the extension. No, that doesn't work. Or just 1 day before the final exam, say I need an alternate date. That doesn't work. Just look at those dates and let me know upfront, probably like within couple of weeks in the beginning of the semester. Okay, so all the dates you have right here in the table. When is your quiz? Also, you can go to the Canvas. You have all the calendars, right? You know when is the quizzes, when is the exams, when is the due dates and everything, you know. And you also know your upcoming events, maybe, which are planned, like games or a religious holidays or something like that. So consult with me upfront. Don't come to me at the last moment. Then I don't entertain those requests. You come to me early, right? Within first couple of weeks, beginning of the semester, you tell me what is planned. Of course, there can be unplanned thing, for example, health reason and stuff like that. That's a different story. Okay, that's a different thing. So given that, please go through the syllabus and the deadlines upfront and let me know if there is a conflict. Okay, now.
Oh, sorry, I had a quick question in the chat. So the pop quizzes on Tuesdays are basically like extra credit and we only get one try on them, right?
Yeah.
And they're through Canvas, right?
That's through Canvas. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Professor?
Yes.
In terms of like quizzes and exams, are there going to be like multiple choice, or are they more like free response, or are, like you said, we would be programming at least a little bit? So
it's a mix, multiple choices and also explanatory questions like problem solving. There are some math problems around it. Okay. So yeah, programming. No, I don't usually ask you to write program in the exam. It's not fair. At least for me, it's not fair to ask you write the program. That's what the programming assignments are. Proficiency in that programming will help you in the project. Okay. All right. Now, any other question? No. All right. So now let's go about the office hours. So how do you do that? Go to your calendar and find appointment. Okay. So for this class, let's find appointment. So you see there is appointment open for these days for me. So if you need to meet me, these are 15-minute slots. And you just, let's say you want to have it from 5. So just click on the slot, then put your comment, what's your purpose, like what you are trying to do there. And I think, well, let's see. So, yeah, put a comment and just hit reserve. So unless you reserve, you cannot walk in. I need to know upfront when you are coming, and please try to make it like at least a day before so that it's reserve my calendar. Otherwise, I can be in other meetings too during that time if I don't see any student coming in. So that is the way you reserve an office hours, and that is still with the Zoom. This is like this link. You can just have it and then join within that time. Okay. All right.
I was wondering, can we do like, if we wanted to do appointments, can we do them as a group with other people with you?
I think I have set it as an individual. Do you need a group appointment? Let me know if you need a group appointment. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, so one of you can appoint and you can use the same link to join in. Just let me know upfront that whom you are tagging with. So yeah.
I had a question about the timing of the office hours. I think that's like, it might, I think it kind of interferes. If it interferes with one of our classes, is there any alternate times that you have also office hours that Like, or is it like,
Not a fixed one, but send me email if in that
Okay.
case. I usually mitigate over the email, and if not, then I can come up with alternate timing for the Zoom session.
okay, thank you.
Okay, other questions? Hey, I still see many of you don't have your camera turned on. I only see the names. If you can please turn your camera. By the way, this is in the focus mode. So only I can see your video, no one else. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's very nice to see the faces. Otherwise, it's kind of becoming an abstract name, and I don't know whom I am teaching. You know.
When you come back afterward. I'm sorry. You want to take this?
Okay. All right. So alternatively, like if you have the concern on the bandwidth or any other thing, you can also make sure your Zoom account has your profile picture on, like your face on. That somewhat helps me, not all the way, but that can be an like mutually agreed ground if you are really uncomfortable with camera on. Okay. But make sure I just don't want to see just the names. At least a photo, profile picture on the Zoom, that would be okay for me. All right. Now, what shall we do now? Okay. Okay, one more thing. I want to try one more thing in this class, not today, but throughout the course, to make it really a flip style class. So all the materials are already available to you, like all my video recordings of the classes and everything. So I won't be lecturing in the class. The classes are, you can take it as a very extended office hours, and maybe we'll solve problem. Maybe we can just go through quickly overview of what is that day's lecture is. And you can ask question, we can go discussion, we can solve problem together. And also I'm thinking once the class, this whole class participation is settled down, like I'm pretty sure some of new will be added in, some will go away, and so on and so forth. Once dust is settled down, I will divide you into student groups. And then I will create some like a bonus point activities of class conducted by student groups. So, and maybe those evaluation can come as a peer-based point, at least some part of it. So other student will evaluate how you conduct the class and so on and so forth. I'm just planning on that part, just a heads up. So this is the first time I'll be trying that out, and let's see how it goes through. Okay. So that's one more point. One more thing. Okay, let's take a quick break. Okay, 5-minute break, and I will come back to just give you an overview of the study process that I expect in the class. All right. So 5-minute break. Okay, let's resume our session. And I see there are some interesting questions over chat. So one said that pop quizzes on Tuesdays are basically extra credit. Yeah, most of the Tuesdays may have pop quizzes. They are for extra credit. You got one chance to do that. Someone said you don't have a working webcam currently. Yeah, please make sure you have a working webcam because all the quizzes and exam need it. Okay, so make sure your environment is set up correctly. Is the group activity randomly selected or pick our own partner? I usually create those groups. Yeah. So is it your preference that you want to pick up your own partner? Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm just creating, let me create a poll. How about I do a poll? Hey, stop share, okay, polls. I cannot create a poll on fly. Okay, let me know. Why don't I just edit this guy on fly? Let's see. Assessment. Yes. This one will be, let me see. Yep. Okay, I have one poll. It's a general assessment. Like have not many questions, like 4 questions, and one of them is this study group form. Okay, so let me launch the poll and see what is your preferences are. Let's take a minute. It should 4 questions should take a minute. Let's take a minute. Okay, here it go. Okay, 1921, 68% participated. Yeah, I think you can also like do it anonymously, right? I think I have done that. Okay, 34. One more to go. Yeah, 35. Yeah, we have 100% participation. End poll. And let's see the result. I can share the result. So first of all of you are early registered. Good. Are you familiar with Boolean algebra, logic, etc.? Okay. At least 4 of you are at least no, not sure. Yeah, go back to your Math 42 course. It must be there. Something form of logic algebra, something like that. It might not be called a Boolean algebra, but there's some of like true, false, true statement, false statements, operation around that, conjunction, disjunction. Is it kicking off some memories? No, yes. But you need to have those. Make sure you have that prerequisite, okay? Okay, what are the programming trend nowadays? Let's see. Of course, CS department, 100% Java. Yeah. C1, C++, 3, okay. Python is coming up. HTML, something like that. Scala, interesting. Okay. All right. So you guys are all Java. Okay. All right. This is interesting. Hey, how come? Oh, some of you actually have maybe selected both of them. I should have made it a like alternate choice. Okay. 63% said pick your own partner. Teacher assigned says 54%. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe like more of them. Let me see. When I create a group, maybe I will open that up for you to pick up. And if you cannot come up with your partner, a study group would be, I'm thinking more about 3, maybe 4 students per group. If you cannot come up with, then I will create that group. Okay. Okay, now let's see. There are some more interesting questions. Oh, pre-recorded. Yeah, lectures are pre-recorded, right? You can, let me share that again. This one, right? Okay, so if you go to the pages, for example, let's go to the syllabus. Why don't we just see what is upcoming for us? So let's say we have, next is this one, right? Introduction to Computing System. Where is that page? No, this one, right? This is not done. Oh, so basically you need to complete those tasks. As a test student, I haven't completed, so it is not letting me. So that means you need to complete your prerequisite, all this stuff, like before you can even access those pages. But let me leave the student view a little bit. Yeah, so if you go to that days, like you can like go to syllabus, probably if you have done that days, prerequisites are all done for that module or whatsoever. Why it is giving me here? Where is the page? Oh, my bad. This is today's, right? Today don't have a page. Okay, here. Next days, lecture 1. So you need to do it by Jan 31st. Next meeting is on February. So my expectation is that you guys actually read upfront. These are the lectures and these are the lecture videos. So that, as I said, I won't be lecturing in the class. These are the topics and it gives you some sort of like how much, like this is 6 minutes, 11 minutes, so that you can schedule around your stuff and you can watch the video or go through the material or do the both, whatever works for you, right? Some people love to just study, read from the papers, pages. Some people just a visual guy, want to hear and go through the lecture videos, whatever works in your way, or both. I don't mind, but point is that before you join on our next meeting on February 1, right? It is, yeah, February 1, I expect you guys to complete study on this so that we have a meaningful discussion, right? And I'm sure you will have questions along you go, right? you have questions, and some people say, hey, in-class lecturing has a scope that they can upfront ask the question. Like as I lecture, they stop me, ask the question. It is not like that whenever there is some conception difficulties, that question is not answered immediately, okay? So one middle ground to do that, you click on the ask question, it gives you the discussion page, you note down your question. It may be if I come across that discussion question, let's say I'm looking at that, I can answer it immediately, or someone else who has gone through your peers, who has gone through that already, they can explain, right? So that is the one way you don't lose your questions or queries or doubt, you can note it down here. Okay, so when you are going through each of the pages, it has an ask question link. Use that, ask question and note down your question. Okay, this page, this time frame or whatever, right? So that's one way, and we can then next day we can come back and start discussing those questions. So that's one thing. So everything is recorded. Even these sessions are recorded too. It will be available through this thing. Let me see if I have a student view or not. Like maybe you'll go to the cloud recording, you'll find that that day's discussion is recorded and posted. So that brings to the next question. So the attendance wouldn't be mandatory. I would say theoretically, yes, the attendance is not mandatory. After the first 3 meetings, I want to see that you are serious about this class by attending first three meetings. But we have our own life. You have maybe may have work, you have families or something like that. So that's the beauty of asynchronous or online classes, that it is recorded and you can go through the recording. Now, what is the positive part of the attending the session is that you can get your feedback then and there. You can ask questions, face-to-face discussion, and all this stuff, which is not available offline. Like that is the one thing. Pop quizzes will be given during the class hours. Though theoretically, when that pop quiz is up, you can go to the Canvas and make sure you are done with that. But pop quizzes are only available during the class meeting. So make sure at least you have some free time, even if you're not attending the classes on that day, discussion on that day. At least if you see your pop quiz is popped up on your Canvas application on your phone or something, you can go and finish that. Okay. My whole point is that you regularly study. That's why all the materials are upfront with you. Like you can go there, look at those pages. For example, next to next class, like we have these notes, all the recordings, make your own schedule, study them, and then come back. And then we'll discuss your difficulties on concept. That's why I believe that's how you can learn better. Okay. Next 2 days would be very important as well. I highly encourage you to attend that, not only for it is mandatory in this class policy, but I will give you some extra presentation on the computing system. This is the overall concept of the computer in one compact presentation. This is whole semester of concept that you need to carry in 1 day presentation. So please make sure you attend next 2 days. All right. And again, that will be recorded. So you can of course review that back, but I would say that please attend the presentation and clear up your concept around that. All right. Question.
Wait, for the pop quizzes, are we allowed to use our notes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Not only pop quizzes, there are quizzes as well. It's open book, open note.
For the quizzes as well? Okay.
I want you to learn.
I have a question for the pop quizzes. I mean, I know for the regular quizzes we have to use the lockdown browser, but what about the pop quizzes? Do we also have to use the lockdown browser for that, or is it?
No, no, it's just a regular.
Okay.
It's a very quick, like 10-minute things there. Just
Right.
to make sure you have gone through. You are as part the class pace, like you are not falling behind. So if you get let's say less marks on the pop quizzes, that means you need to put more steam, more energy on this subject because you're falling behind. So that's kind of indicator. If you are doing good, like 90%, 95%, then you are as par, you are with the class, right? You are not falling behind. But use that as an indicator. If you are getting lower marks, that means you need to put more energy to this subject. You need to be up to date. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, all right. Is there other questions? No, yes, you're good. Okay. Syllabus, okay. Quickly on the study process, as I was mentioning, I believe you already got that whole thing. But I want to just quickly bring up that page with you. Okay. So, as we computer science student, we know the flowcharts. That talks better with us, right? So check your canvas for upcoming lecture schedule. Is there upcoming lecture? Yes, let's say. So view the corresponding lecture videos, review corresponding lecture note, perform the lab experiment if there is any, add queries to corresponding module discussion. I said that click on that ask question and add your queries. Join the class meeting through Zoom, review the lecture notes and video. Sorry, I'm just stepping ahead. So in the class, I will discuss about those queries and we'll go through the problem and we'll discuss the conception in more details if needed. So that means you have a more clear concept than what you have done by pre-studying those part. And if needed, then you can go and re-review the lecture notes and video just to settle down your concept, right, after the class. There are set of practice problems in some modules. I would highly encourage you to go and practice and solve that problem. There is a solution to it as well. I would suggest that you do the problem first yourself, then go back and look at the solution, okay, just to make sure. And this process repeats, right? Now, if there is an upcoming lecture, if there is no, for example, this is like next day is a midterm, right? Or holiday, who knows? No upcoming lectures. So we ask ourselves, is it end of the semester? No, then go and do the whole thing. End of the semester, yes, party time then. Okay, let's go do and party. So that's it, that's the end of the semester. So that's the simple study flow and practice through these things. Like main theme is that you review the lectures upfront, study it, and it's going to be a flip style class. And possibly it will be student conducted class. I'll be there to help you and assist you on the discussion, okay? All right.
Mr. Patra,
Yes.
could you give us like an example of what kind of lab we would do?
It's more like an example codings in the assembly, but let's step through. Like it's more like a programming labs if there is any. Okay.
I know there's like a module that says like programming a processor, but will this class ever like touch on like hands-on building?
Hands-on in the sense of a simulation environment. Like assembly language is a very low-level language, and you can really make havoc to your system, make it crash down with assembly language programming. So I don't want you to do it on your precious laptops or desktop that you have. So I will program around a processor in a simulation environment. And I hope you all know what is a simulation, right? Like, for example, flight simulation, right? Every pilot goes through the flight simulation. It's a virtual experience that a real airplane flying will have possibly. So this is also similar thing. It's a simulation environment where that environment simulate a processor, and you are programming that processor directly without help of any high-level language. Like, you don't program in Java, you don't program in C, C++, anything. Very low level. We call it assembly level program. And yeah, we do that through this. Is that answer your question, Stephen?
Huh? No,
No,
it's
who asked
was
that
Brian.
question?
It was Brian. But thank you.
Brian, okay, all right.
So there isn't like a lab day connected to this class, right? There's no like lab section.
No, not really, not really. It is a part of the regular lecture process, right?
So it's part of the modules, but you do it on your own, right? Okay.
Right. For example, like if you go here, you see there are some experiment code, right? And these experiments are part of these lectures.
But there isn't like a lab section or anything like.
No lab section like that. No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Module 3 has some more experiment code and so on and so forth. So all these experiments are there to help you to understand the underlying hardware better. Okay. So one thing, just to be clear, that we'll be learning assembly programming, but don't take this as an assembly programming language learning class. That's not a goal. You won't become a mastermind of assembly language. That's not even the goal, right? We'll just explore some basic things of the assembly language so that we can study the hardware behavior, and we can explain how a processor executes your software program at the end of the day. So that's our target. All right. Okay, so let's, we are almost towards the end of today's time. Let's quickly go through what is there in the upcoming days that you need to be prepared with. Lecture 1, Introduction to Computer. Let me share. Okay. So if you don't have an authorization problem, you will see this document is embedded. Otherwise, you can actually click on some link, external link to do that. But anyway, so there are 2 subtopics, Introduction to Computer and members of the organization. So we'll ask ourselves, what is a computer? Formally define it. Then we go through all these formal definition, different components, look at the ugly reality, what the computer look like. Then we talk about what are the major components of a computing system. And we'll study around deeper detail onto that. But here, what we are trying to do, going from a very generic view of a computing system, like all you know, like it has a disk drive, like solid state or rotational disk, doesn't matter. It has that. It has something called memory card, like ROM, RAM, etc. It has a processor like Intel, Pentium, whatever, ARM, MIPS. It doesn't matter what the system is. And then it has input and output devices like keyboard, mouse, your display, your printer, etc., etc. So it has a lot of different hardware components, but our target is to kind of model them on a very easier, like componental views, so that we are not lost in this complex jungle of hardware. Like there's so many things. So we will be starting modeling them For example, disk drive and memory system, we can model it as just a storage system. It's a memory, right? It's a store information. There is a processor which crunch information and process information, gives you the output. On input devices, we can start modeling them. They combine them as a input-output device. And then ultimately, you know, like at the end of the day, if you could please go through this lecture, the modeling simplification will become like this. It's a model, a processor, and a memory. No device, nothing. Like every IO devices are modeled as a memory. Every storage is modeled as a memory. And there is a processor. And from there, we'll try to break it down. We look at what are their role in our computing process. Then we start drilling down. For example, processor, we break it down into several subcomponents like arithmetic logic unit, controller, register file. We'll introduce something called clock system, and we'll see what is their role and how they help in executing our software program. Okay, so that's the goal. So that's the goal of this lecture 1, to understand and derive a simplified model of a computing system in a nutshell, so that we can proceed after that to explore different features of a computing system. All right, question? So you need to spend like what? 6 minutes, 11 minutes, 17 minutes, another 6 minutes, 23 minutes, 33, 39, about 40 minutes on the video if you want to watch it. If you want to study through the notes, that's also okay. Whatever works for you, or both. Question. All right, before we stop, deadline January 29. Remember to make through the prerequisite survey, complete them. And also before coming to the next class, make sure you lecture 1 is done. And I would like to see all these different questions you have on those ask question page. All right. Any question before we stop tonight? Okay, there is, yeah, are the pop quiz question from the previous lecture? Previous and that days. Like let's say next Tuesday have a pop quiz. I'm not saying there is a pop quiz. Let's say February 1 is a pop quiz day. That means it will include the lecture 1 as well. Okay, so previous topic plus that day's topic, that's included in the pop quiz. Pop quiz, are we allowed to use our notes? Yeah, you are allowed to use a note. Is open book, open note, no problem. Okay. All right, then let's midterm file an open note or closed. That's a closed note. Don't ask for the open note. It will be a disaster experience. I have done it in one class and almost everybody failed. Because open note is that type of question which you cannot get in your notes or internet. It's a really conceptually challenged question. Like, so don't ask for the open note at all. All right. So, but I allow cheat sheet. Don't worry, I'll come to that when the time comes. Okay.
Oh wait, sorry. What did you say? You allow
cheat sheets.
Oh, cheat sheets. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, exams are far ahead. Don't worry about that right now. Just see how you like this subject. That is the, yeah, let's grow the love on this subject and then you can proceed better. All right. Okay, then good night, everybody, and see you on this Tuesday, coming Tuesday.
Oh,
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Professor.
Professor.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
I have some more questions.
Yes.
So just to make sure, is the Qualtrics survey the one that's called
important complete course survey by January 29, 2022. Is that
Mhm.
that email?
Yeah, that is.
And also for the PDF version of the transcript, does it have to be saved as an Adobe Acrobat PDF, or can it just be saved as a normal PDF?
Acrobat PDF would be preferable. I think Acrobat can open other type of PDF as well.
Oh, okay. So because I don't have Adobe Acrobat.
So
So
anything like if you can, let's say you are screenshotting onto the Word, for example, or Open Office, right? And you can save as PDF after that.
oh, okay. So as long as it's a normal PDF, it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And the highlighting as well, as long as it's highlighted in the correct places. And then you have to highlight both the computer science class and the math class. That
Yes, both of them. Yeah, it will be easier for me to spot on, right?
oh,
That's it.
and then if there are any problems with the transcript or anything, it's not an automatic like drop. It's you.
No. If there is any problem, I usually work with the student to see what is going on.
Okay.
It's
Thank
not
you.
end of the world.
Okay.
Like nothing is end of the world unless it is end of the world. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Good night. Bye.